It's time for a deal or no deal with Phil Egan, who was rudely interrupted by an alarm earlier on. I think what we're going to do on the radio anymore now is if we're going to say something that's on the verge of being like going to get us in trouble or libelous, the alarm will go off. It's like
I thought that's what it was.
Because we were talking about snakebite and so on and so forth. Yeah. You were going to say something amazingly kind of erudite and informative, but you never got the chance. You never will.
Never will. No one will ever know what I was going to say.
No one will ever know. Welcome back to Deal or No Deal.
Good to be back.
I like this top one. So Borussia Dortmund won the battle to sign the 19-year-old wonder kid, Erling Haaland, who's obviously son of Alf Inge. How highly should we rate him? Should a Premier League club have broken the bank to bring him to England?
I don't think so just yet, because what we saw of him playing for Salzburg, looked good. I know he scored at Anfield. He didn't start that game, but he started the last game, which was the only group game he didn't score. Now, he had his moments in that game, but I didn't think he was overly impressive. But you have to remember, he's still only 19, and Germany is a good league. Obviously, Dortmund is one of the better clubs in Germany. It was either going to be Dortmund or Leipzig. You probably thought it was going to be Leipzig, given the connection there, even if they say that there is no connection, but there clearly is. He obviously would have got to work under Nagelsmann, but Leipzig are flying at the moment. But yeah, he'll develop, and then Premier League clubs can have a look at him. They can see how does he fare in Germany. They've seen how he's done in Austria. Now he's stepping up another level, and then to be able to tell, even after, between now and the end of the season, I'm sure there'll be plenty of scouts going over to see can he cut it in the Bundesliga, and if he does, he's 19.
He's 19.
What I've seen of him, he's got, obviously he's huge.
Yeah, he's
quick though as well.
He needs to probably work on his technique a little bit, but he's a prospect.
Yeah.
Sticking in Dortmund for a moment, the Bleacher Report reports that Jadon Sancho could very possibly be tied into an early transfer agreement a la Christian Pulisic, which would see him become a Premier League player. Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester City, Manchester United all linked with the Englishman making a splash in the Bundesliga. He's under contract until 2020 and expected to sell for 100 million plus. Man City, who sold at the German club, have a buyback clause and the chance to make the highest bid. How good is he, and where will he end up?
Yeah, he's quality, and he kind of, just going back to what we said about Haaland, where he decided, I need to get some first team football, went over, has been brilliant, obviously got his England caps as well, and there has been a general feeling that he was always going to end up back in the Premier League, and Dortmund would be quite happy, I'm sure, to cash in on him. Who he goes to, I don't know. He's been linked with Liverpool, and I think maybe that happens because of the kind of player he is. He's pacey, obviously the
Dortmund
connection. But see, Liverpool are in a position now where players want to play for them. And Klopp has also told people how long he's going to be at the club, 2024. So that question is gone now, where, is Jurgen Klopp still going to be there when I'm there? So that would suggest that if Liverpool wanted him, they could certainly get him. Whether Manchester City would want to take him back, I don't know if City would be in the position to do what Chelsea have done plenty of times, where they get players back and they pay huge money to get players that they let go for next to nothing.
Tammy Abraham's new contract talks with Chelsea have stalled, according to Goal, because the 22-year-old wants to be on the same as Hudson-Odoi, which is 180 grand a week. Who's the better player? And should Chelsea just hand over the cash?
Yeah, I think from what we've seen from Tammy Abraham, people will obviously judge him on his goal scoring. And he gets, one of the things that some people criticise him for is that he's not scoring in big games. But from what we've seen from this season is he's a handful, not only in terms of scoring goals, but just physically imposing. He's quick as well. So, he has all those attributes. He's only going to get better. And unfortunately for Hudson-Odoi, he had that Achilles injury at the end of last season. So we don't know how good he's going to be, but what we saw of him, I remember the first time I saw him play in a pre-season game, I thought, who is this lad? And Sarri obviously didn't want to play him. Eventually he started playing him, and he saw why there's been so much talk about this guy. Obviously got the injury, but he certainly was very clever with being linked with Bayern Munich, and basically Chelsea thought, we don't want situation that City had with Sancho, where you lose a young prospect to Germany and then he turns out to be unbelievable. So they paid the wages, but I think that's unfortunately what happens. If you're going to pay one young player that kind of money, then Tammy Abraham is well within his rights
Absolutely.
to say, well, I want this because I score goals.
It's like the Irish managerial job. If you pay an awful lot of money to your predecessor, well, I'm not going to take the job for a third of the money.
Absolutely, yeah.
The Telegraph reports that Jurgen Klopp has resigned himself to the fact that the club will lose Adam Lallana on a free this summer. Would he be lost to Liverpool, and where should he end up? I mean, he's played so little, really.
Yeah, he's just been injured too much. But
yeah.
he was part of that Klopp team, the first team that Klopp picked, which was away against Tottenham. And I remember Lallana came off in that game, and he was shattered. And that's why Klopp always stuck by him, even through his injuries, because Klopp demands work, and Lallana always gave that to him. Very good technical footballer, but just been injured too much. And
he'd be a proper signing for a club that could have
definitely,
a,
yeah, he's certainly good enough to stay in the Premier League, that's for sure. And you just wonder, maybe he would be more suited to a team that isn't as attritional as Liverpool, because obviously
good point on the injury front.
He couldn't keep fit all the time under Klopp and the way that Liverpool play.
We're going to move on. After last night's loss, Manchester United manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer says the club would like to sign 2 midfielders in the window. Here's a taste of the players linked with the club via Sky Sports live tracker. Christian Eriksen, we've already mentioned Sancho, Emre Can, Vidal, Grealish, off the charts goal again yesterday, Dembele, Pereira and Richarlison. What do you like? And also, what percentage chance do they have of getting into the Champions League this season? They are 5 points off Chelsea in 4th, and I've been told by my authorities here it's a one-word answer, which is literally a number. What percentage chance?
I'd say we give them 40%. We'll give them a pass. But nobody seems to want that 4th place at the moment.
Nobody, and I was actually thinking this earlier. Who wants the Europa League? If like the likes of Arsenal, does Arteta want the Europa League, which is achievable? But we don't have time. We're going to stay in Catalonia. Deal or no deal favourites. Mundo Deportivo hit the streets of Barcelona to survey Barca fans. 80% of those surveys didn't want Valverde to get a new deal, and their first choice favourite to get the job, 33% is Klopp, ahead of the other front runner, former Barca great Ronald Koeman, 31%. Will Jurgen Klopp be the next Barcelona manager?
No.
Patrick Emerick Aubameyang looks set to leave Arsenal this summer with Inter and Barcelona linked with the striker. Would he be good enough to make an impact at the Camp Nou? And we did have Gary Breen speaking earlier about how much he rates Aubameyang.
Yeah, he's certainly good enough. And if you look at Barcelona at the moment, Suarez is certainly not the player he was. Dembele's had too many injuries. Griezmann's been okay. But yeah, there's definitely, I think wherever Aubameyang goes, he'll always score goals.